Hello and welcome back to X-Plane 11. Thank you very much for joining me in this video, and thank you guys so much for the support that I got in the last video with the likes and the comments and people saying yes, I like this idea, thank you for showing this, it's been really good, it helped me understand something, or so on and so forth. Really appreciate that. Please keep those likes coming, please keep those comments coming. It really helps me out, helps me understand the kind of content that you guys want and that you guys want to see, and the way in which I can develop that content and further progress that content. So with that being said, in this video we are looking at another add-on for X-Plane 11. As usual, or I suppose it's going to become as usual, I'm going to show you guys how to install it, and I'm going to then give you guys a demonstration of it. Now with this one, it's going to be a little bit more interesting than the last one, because this is a graphics add-on. So I'm going to I've got to show you before and after, and we're going to do an even comparison of what it's like before and after. But to make it even more confusing, there's going to be 4 variants of what I'm going to show you. So it's going to be vanilla, then it's going to be with one add-on, with an injector on that add-on, and then with another add-on on top of that add-on to see what we can see. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set up a new flight, and we're going to do a circuit, or we're not going to do a circuit, we're going to take off in Edinburgh. I've chosen Edinburgh today, runway 12, as our runway of choice and our city of choice. We're going to start off somewhere around sunrise. So we're going to start, let's say 3:45 local time, and we're going to start the flight, and this is the same flight we're going to do over and over again. I'm just thinking whether it's a good idea for me to use head tracking or not. I might not use head tracking, just for the sake of, well, first of all, the fact that it's not very sunny outside, and as you guys know, let's actually start this. As you guys know, because I don't have track IR, my head tracking uses a camera, and if it's not light, if there isn't the right amount of light, it gets really finicky and really problematic. So that's the problem with that. If you want to help support me on that, please do support me on Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/ecgadget. Even if you guys were donating a couple of dollars a month, that would really help me out. I mean, if everybody watching the video donated a couple of dollars for 2 months, that's probably going to be about $300-400 in. That's enough for me to purchase a track IR. That's enough for me to get some add-ons. I know some people have also been asking about add-ons and saying, can you look at these add-ons, can you look at those add-ons, even on my Patreon, people who are supporting me. I will, if I can get hold of keys, of course I will, and if I can oh, engine's off. Well, bother. And if I can get enough Patreon support, then obviously I can buy them as well. Right. With the engine off, that's going to be annoying. Let me think. How do I start this engine once again? I have to do master battery on, fuel pump on. Come on. Fuel pump on. Do that, throttle a little bit in, hold on. That's got to be full rich. There we go. Let's just switch these lights on. Let's not do pitot heat just yet. I think this is how I start the... There we go. Really shouldn't have left it running that long. Mixture will put full rich. Fuel pump can stay on. Taxi lights. Strobe lights. Come on. Pitot heat. Landing lights. Avionics can go on. Alternator can go on, sorry. Avionics can now go on. There we go. That's pretty good to me. Okay, good. Right, so let's have a quick look around this. So this is in the default view. I'll do some screenshot comparisons, of course, too. So there you go. There's that's what the sunrise is looking like at the moment. You can see we've got some lighting around. Good lights. Good reflections. Let's go outside. Have a look outside. That's the aircraft. I did select scattered clouds, didn't I? For the weather. Why is it not done scattered clouds? Oh no, it's clear. No, we'll do scattered clouds. No, not broken clouds. Scattered clouds. There we go. Yeah, that will do. That will do. Actually, I don't even like that. Doesn't look very scattered, does it? Cirrus. Yep, I can just see a little bit of cloud in a few spots. Good. Okay, so we're just going to take off and we're just going to fly over towards Arthur's Seat. And we'll move from there. I've had a few other suggestions from people who have been talking about if I don't use head tracking. So there is a few things that I need to take into account there, including the ridiculous pull of this aircraft, which I think we've all established is not correct. There we go, we are up. As smoothly as I can bring this aircraft up now. Adjust the directional gyro. Why is the directional gyro not right? Hang on a second, why is that not correct? First of all, also if I do that, make sure that's correct. Now I've got to try and work out exactly what's wrong with the gyro. This is not right. Should be around that. I think that's about right. Okay, so let's have a look around to see the city as it is. We might go forward in time, go backwards in time. We've got ourselves up to 1,000 feet. I'll go for 1,500 feet. We'll get the autopilot ready to hold 1,500 feet. Let's trim that down too. In fact, let's just hold it now. No, hold our current altitude. There you go. Vertical speed 0. Good. And we'll do a heading hold. Let's fly east. Okay, good. We can have a look around at Edinburgh now. So you can see how the lighting is. We're just going to do a quick flight. See how the lighting is, see how things look. What we can and cannot see. Let's actually go outside for this. Be pretty easy. Let's bring that propeller back. Let's fix propeller. I can't bring the propeller back, idiot. Got to do that with the throttles. That was smart of me, wasn't it? Alright, so there we go. We can now have a look outside. So that's what the sunrise looks like. There's the airport, there's some roads. Doesn't look too bad at all. If we go back in time a bit, go roughly into nighttime, that's what we're looking at. That's actually really impressive. I wonder what the capture screenshot button is. Take screenshot, shift and space. That's a bit long. Does it crash it? No, it takes a screenshot. I want to take a few screenshots of this, that's why. I do like taking screenshots. But okay, so that looks pretty good. Let's have a look more at night. Fairly cool. Having a look towards the airport, having a look out there. And we'll see if we can bring the sun back up. Oh, actually, hold on, is it? There we go. And we'll go into daytime as it struggles to cope with this. And now we can have a look at daytime, so you can see a few of the clouds. You can see what it's like. The castle's supposed to be over there somewhere. I've lost Arthur's seat. It's behind us, definitely. Oh, actually, Arthur's seat's right here. We're looking at it. Right, let's get back into the aircraft and let's bank ourselves around to the north. So we're going to do a lot of this from outside, from the outside view. As you can expect. Just to give an idea, get a handle on all the different lighting setups, everything that we can see. That there is the that's the East Coast main line. Yep, that's the East Coast main line. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let's go see if we can fast forward to evening. Where's the sun gone? There it is. Again, the lights come on. Pretty nifty, and then we've got this time of night again, where if we just bank the aircraft once again towards the west. There you go. Get a fairly good look at this time of night. So that looks pretty good. That does look pretty good overall. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to install some of these graphics packs, and we're going to have a quick look at them. Now before I do that, I am going to get some scattered clouds up just so that we can see what the clouds look like currently, because I think one of the things that changes is the clouds. So there you go, you can see the clouds now. Pretty good. Okay, you can see how the city's been lit up all throughout the day, and we're now going to go into the installation. So I'll show you the installation, and then we're going to go see what it looks like by running this exact same flight all over again. Alright, so the weather add-ons that we're looking at today is going to be the FS Enhancer. So we're looking at the FS Enhancer, or otherwise just known as FSE, currently in a beta stage 0.4.9, but I'm still going to have a look at it. And then we're going to add on top of that, we're going to add the ultimate mod on top of FS Enhancer. So we're going to see exactly what this looks like overall. Right, and we've also got Reshade to look at. So the first thing you need to do is obviously download these two mods, and you can get the FSE injectors too. So if we look at this, you can see we've got an advanced effects injector. You need to get the FSE 0.4.9. Also, you need to get, like I said, the ultimate mod right there. So I've unzipped all of them. And also, you need to go ahead and look for Reshade. So we're going to be looking at Reshade 2. But the first thing we need to look at is, of course, just FSE on its own. So look in this folder, and you'll see, once you unzip it, you'll see a resources folder, and it adjusts some of the bitmaps. So it adjusts sky colors, it adjusts the world, and it has plugins, and there's the Fly with Lure. So something that is needed is Fly with Lure. If you don't know how to install that, have a look at the episode that I just released a few days ago. That shows you Fly with Lure, how to install it and what it does, and there is the scripts that it runs. Now, a good idea to on this is to make sure that you back it up. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've gone into the resources folder, I've grabbed the bitmaps folder and the plugins folder, and I've just zipped them up as a resources folder, and I'm just going to cut that out there, bring that in here, go to, I'm going to make a new folder called Z Backup. Nope, not X. X is stupid. Z Backup, and I'm going to stick it in there. Now the Z is to make sure it stays at the bottom of my list at all times. So I could write triple Z or you know, 2 Zs, and it would ensure that it stays at the bottom of the list all the time. So you can see there, that's at the bottom of the folders no matter what. Okay, great. Now that we've done that, we can go ahead and go to this, grab the resources folder. We can copy that or cut it, doesn't matter now, and we can just paste it in the root explain folder. So make sure you go to the root explain folder where you'll see a resources folder and just paste it in there. It'll come up with something to letting you know that you've got destination files. Make sure you just overwrite them all. And that's it. That should be installed. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get back into Explain and we're going to have a look, same flight, see what looks different. Alright, so now we're back into Explain, and what can we see that looks different? Well, it doesn't look all too different. Having a look out the window, it looks very, very similar, apart from the sky colors do look smoother. They look more realistic. So if we go outside again, you can see the sky colors definitely look more realistic, and in fact the clouds also seem to look more realistic in color, and you can actually see that haze that goes out, almost like a halo. You can almost see a halo from the sun as we're getting ready to take off. So there is a definite difference there, and obviously I'll be putting up comparison shots, so don't worry about that. I will put up comparison shots of this on screen so that you guys can see for yourselves. But let's go ahead and get ourselves taking off once again. Let's get the parking brake off once again. That looks pretty good to me. I'm getting used to this ridiculous pull that is on this Cessna. That shouldn't be there. Smooth rotate. Up we go again. Awesome. Okay. Keep trimming the aircraft just to keep it looking okay at all times. I don't think this is correct again. I think that's correct. Alright, now let's have a look. Now you can definitely see there is a very, very definite difference to what we can see outside. Right, let's have a look outside like this again. The sky colors are very different now. Now you can definitely see the difference in sky colors. And the cloud textures are different. They definitely look different. That looks a lot more realistic, I have to say. And it's not a huge difference, it's a subtle difference. And that's the important part. It is a subtle difference. Go on, lock that autopilot in. There we go. Get that right this time. No, what are you doing? What are you doing? Alright, fine. Go vertical speed. There, hold that altitude. Heading. That will do for me quite nicely. And then we'll do the same head east in a moment. Right, we'll slow the aircraft down once again. Nice and smooth. Lean the engine a bit. Perfect. Okay, and let's have a look outside once again. So you can see, look at the clouds this time. They're reflecting the sky, they're reflecting the sun a lot better. That looks more realistic just by those simple changes. Those simple changes make a huge difference to how this sim looks. You can see the airport right there. This new screenshots thing that I found, though, by the way, is just going to be, I think it's going to start annoying a lot of people very quickly. I do apologize. Right, let's turn again to the east. There we go. That's a turn to the east. And once again, we can look outside, and we're going to do the same thing we did before. So let's go to night. What looks different here? I can't really see much differences there. That looks a bit odd. What's going on with the sea? Is that something to do with... I don't know. Is that something to do with the water? Is there something... There's something about water. I know there's something about water that can go up and down. Which I guess I can't see. It's probably there and I'm just missing it. Windshield effects. No. Maybe I've got to do it outside of... Yeah, I've probably got to do it outside of the sim. So that's okay, we'll resume the flight. How does it look at night? So we've got a new moon. That's something different. That's definitely new. So that's one texture that's changed. Ground seems to be pretty much the same. Alright, let's go back to the daytime. It's a lot smoother. That transition is a lot smoother into daytime. The sun color looks slightly different. That works. And how does it look during the day? The clouds look so much better. I will give that. Look at the cloud level. Look at the cloud texturing. That is so much better. Let's have a look at different types of clouds then. Let's have a look at scattered clouds. Oh wow. Now I can say I can play with... It's not perfect. I'll be honest. I think the darkness around there is not perfect. I think they need to be a little bit lighter. But I can say I can play with scattered clouds. Because before I found that scattered clouds were just a little bit... They looked a little bit odd. Now let's have a look at that. Again, that looks really well done. That looks better than the default X-plane for certain. Right, again, we're going to do a turn to the north. And we're about to start adding Reshade into this, so make sure you stay tuned for that. That's going to look good, I think. Okay, that's looking impressive. That's not the button I meant to press. Let's go ahead and go full overcast. Let's have a look. Full overcast looks very realistic, I think. Okay. Low visibility. Oh, that's not going to help. That's not going to help at all. Foggy is also not going to help. Got nothing there. And stormy. I think the storm clouds need work. So let's go back to our happy cirrus clouds. There we go. As the aeroplane sorts itself out. Ground textures, I don't think have changed. They may have changed. We'll have a look at what has changed. Water textures are different. Water textures are definitely different. So they look a lot better. Let's turn ourselves back in west. There we go. Yep, the water textures have changed. They look a lot nicer, I think. Ground textures, maybe they've changed a little, but it's the sky textures, I think, that... Look at that. I mean, you take a look at that, and that looks real. That does look real. So I'm very happy about that. Let's run through the rest of the day quickly. Go towards the sunset. Look at the cloud, the cloud movement. There's the sun. There it is again. And that's the sunset image once again. Sunset shot. That does look very good. And then back to night. Let's go back to that sunset. Let's go back inside. Let's have a look from inside what we think of the sunset. I think that looks very realistic. Yes, I think there's still improvements that can be made, but that's why we're about to try that Reshade mod, and we're going to see what that Reshade mod can do. Alright, so let's get to installing Reshade. Alright, I did decide to take a look before we install Reshade. I just want to take a look at what this actually has changed. It has changed the water, I thought so. It's changed lights. I haven't noticed too much change in lights, and of course it's changed the clouds, it's changed the moon, and it's changed sky colors, which is something that we did notice, the glows on the sky and the sort of the haze that showed up. So that's what it's changed there, and of course it's changed some of the parameters. So if I were to open this up, for example, you can see it's just changed how it works and how the HDR works and what the tones are like, what the shadowing is like. So that's what it's done there. And it's changed the water parameters. I think the water looks a lot better. Right, next up, we've got to install Reshade. So how do we install Reshade? Well, make sure you download Reshade. So you can just search on the internet for Reshade. Then you install this Reshade setup. So you just double click that. Yep, it'll be fine. You can run it. So it says select game. So we'll go ahead and select the game. So we can go D, for me it's D drive, local games, X-Plane 11. There you go, X-Plane. Installing to X-Plane, it's set it as OpenGL. I thought it was going to be, do you wish to, yeah, I think it needs to be DirectX. There we go, we'll just do that for now. Sure. Hang on, installing to X-Plane succeeded. Hang on, if I just double click that again. Oh no, it must have picked OpenGL of its own accord. Great. Okay, so let's click that again. Select rendering API. No, let's go for DirectX. What's this? What's it asking me for? I think we need to download a few new bits and bobs. There you go. So it's going to download a few new bits and bobs. I don't know whether X-Plane uses DirectX or OpenGL now. I think it's DirectX, right? And there you go. So it's got a whole bunch of stuff that we can install. So it's just going to install everything. I'm going to go ahead and go, yep, let's install everything. You've got the Reshade settings. Now, the way you do that, so if you have a look at this, it says just drag and drop the files and folder into your main X-Plane directory. So if we go to the mod folder again, the advanced effects injectors, there's the Reshade shaders. So we'll just grab all of this stuff and we just copy that and we just pop that directly into this. There's the shaders right there again. So we'll just do Control and V, overwrite all, done. Okay, great. Now I have no idea how to run Reshade. Screenshot path we're going to leave. We're not going to worry about the screenshots. Preset files is on preset natural. That's okay. Okay, that's fine. I understand how that works. So we can change the preset files either through that or by again clicking on Reshade settings. You can change the presets right there. But we're just going to go okay. We can close that, and let's go have a look now at what it looks like in the sim. Okay, just a quick note here. I actually need to install the OpenGL versions of Reshade. So you saw me do the DirectX versions and that didn't work. So we've got the OpenGL versions on now and I'm going to show you Reshade. However, in the next part of the video, I'm going to be talking about Reshade potentially not working because I've had to add this little bit in after figuring out what did and didn't go wrong. So let's quickly have a look at Reshade. So you can see that immediately this does look somewhat different, and also I've got a slight effect. It's having a slight effect on my frame rate. But we're going to have a look at these. This is Reshade. Press Shift and F2 to open up Reshade. Now you can see I've added a few things. I can delete a few things. So let's start with nothing. We'll start with nothing on this. No adaptive sharpening, none of that, no high pass sharpening, and this is what you're supposed to adjust to really get it looking how you want it to look. So here we go. When you press Shift and F2 in Reshade, you get a whole bunch of information, and you can see there's the overlay key, and there is, I mean, can we show the FPS? There you go. We can see I'm getting 30 FPS at the moment. I don't know why I'm getting 30. I should be getting 60. That's I think that's showing half of my FPS. But anyway, we're just going to quickly have a look at this once again. So you can see now we can add a whole bunch of stuff in there. So we've got depth haze, and we've got display depth. Some of these won't work. For example, display depth makes everything dark. I'm going to try out magic depth of field. I'm going to go for that doesn't seem to really do anything. We'll go for perfect perspective. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Clarity makes everything just look a little bit clearer, so I like that. Color matrix doesn't really work for us. Colorfulness, no good. Curves doesn't really help us out here either. Let's see. DPX makes everything rather bright. EGA filter's no good. Emphasize makes it look a little bit more natural, I think. Eye adaptation we're not going to use. We've got fake HDR, which I'm not going to use either. I'm not going to use motion blur. We're not going to do filmic passes or anything like that. Yeah, we're not going to do any of these. FXAA, maybe. We'll see how that pans out. High pass sharpening. Yeah, that's actually smooth. FXAA is actually working. I mean, if you have a look... let's see if I can show you this. If I bring that up, move that out of the way, you can just see it on that edge. Just slightly smoothen things up. We've got levels which you don't need. That's no good. We've got autofocus. That's an interesting one. We're not going to touch that. We've got LUT fixes, adaptive fog, ambient lighting, night vision. We've got a whole bunch of stuff. ASCII, which is really, really interesting. I like seeing that one. Chromatic aberration, which we really don't want. Reflective bump mapping, which we're not going to look at. We've got a whole bunch of stuff here. Let's switch off that. And we're just going to... You've got to really play with this. You really have to play to see what you're going to get on it. So let's have a look at this. And let's do a quick flight with this and just see how it pans out. So again, it's going to be very quick. And we're going to see whether this looks more realistic or less realistic. And the colours seem a little bit more washed out at the moment. I will say that. I think I prefer the brighter colours. And we're up. I do prefer the brighter colours. Frame rates seem to be okay. I don't see any problems with the frame rates. Yeah, no problems with the frame rates at all. Let's move our person up again. So we're going to get ourselves back up to 1,500 feet very quickly, and then have a gander around. And there are different presets for different days or different times of day. So again, climbing very quickly to 1,500 feet. Let's have a look at Shift and F2, see which one's causing this. I think it's that one. It's not clarity. Emphasize is causing this one. Alright, we're coming back. We're coming up on 1,500 feet once again. Autopilot can go in. Very sudden autopilot. Vertical speed can come down to 0. Alright, let's have a look outside. And this is what we're seeing now. Now, does that look more realistic or less realistic? That's the question. At the end of the day, Reshade is all about getting things done correctly. I honestly think that doesn't look as realistic. That's just my opinion. I think there needs to be more colour. So we could, I suppose, do that. And let's see. That doesn't seem to be doing anything, so we're going to leave that. The Mortimer fly depth of field definitely does. We've got adaptive sharpening, that definitely changes things. In all honesty, I think without adaptive sharpening it's better. SMAA does change things on the ground too. Tilt shift, no need to have a look at. Clarity does that, okay. And you know what? When you look at it like this, see, that's a little bit bright. I don't like the way the lights are showing on that. But in terms of realism of that looks very realistic, you see. So, oops. But that doesn't. That's a little bit too bright. So you've got to find a good balance, I think. I think you really have to find a good balance on this. Yes, the inside, I think that looks pretty realistic too now. Certain, slightly more than we did last time. So that's Reshade, and it's got a lot on it. So we can go preset night. You can see that that's really, that makes things really look horrible. It's very, very bloomy. But you see, if we were to go back in time to night, have a look at that. That actually does look good. So that's what it changes there. Let's go ahead and get rid of the. How do I get rid of the frame rate? Show frame rate. Settings. Show FPS. There we go. Don't need that anymore. But you can see we can have a look at a whole different set of stuff. So you can tune it for each different type. So you've got the intense one, which as you see, if the sun comes up again. There you go, you can look at that. So it does really change things and change up how things look. And it's all about fine-tuning. Everyone's going to have a personal preference for it. Obviously you can switch that on, and each preset can have something on or off. So again, if we go to night, you can see this is off, so we can switch that on again. And it's completely killing us. But if we were to, let's say, switch on HDR, and you can see just how horrible that looks. That looks absolutely horrible. But again, go back in time, up to about there, and especially in this kind of condition, at night, that looks really, really nice. That really does look nice. I'm not going to say it looks perfect, but it definitely looks nice. So there is a look at Reshade. Like I said, the next part I'm going to be looking at is going to be with the Ultimate mod, and in that part there's going to be no Reshade. So just ignore the parts where I talk about Reshade not working. Obviously it's working now. Oh wow, that's a bit bright as well. I didn't expect that to happen. But anyway, yes, as you can see, Reshape is working. I just had the wrong type. So make sure you don't get the DirectX 11 ones. Make sure you get the OpenGL ones when you're downloading this. Now, I thought it was DirectX 11. Obviously, it's not. It's OpenGL. But there we have it. I will now move on back to LiveMe, as it were, or LiveMe for that section, to talk about the Ultimate the ultimate mod and what that changes, or what I think that changes, because I wasn't entirely sure. There you go. I'll tell you now that I'm not entirely sure what it does and doesn't change. Anyway, ooh, air traffic control. That's how you get to air traffic control. We'll sort that out in another video. Okay, so to put the last part in, which is this one here, the ultimate mod. So we're going to make sure we download the ultimate mod and have a quick look at this. It's a very small mod, so it's going to be interesting to see what changes this makes. But as you can see, the installation for that is not that. The installation for that, let's go back, is going to the ultimate mod. Make sure you pick the right version, so either default or the FS Enhancer, which is the one I'm going to use, or the X Enviro if you've got the X Enviro. So you just do that, and as you can see on the install, it says put it into Fly with Lua. So again, Fly with Lua is required for this, so we'll just copy that, and we'll go into Resources, and we will go into Plugins, Fly with Lua, Scripts, and stick it right there. Perfect. Wait, is that where it says to stick it? Yes, scripts. I was going to say, just in case, it should be there. So that's where you install that. If you haven't got that installed, again, make sure you go watch the video showing you how to install that and how to move things in and out. I'm still not sure whether the Reshade is working, so we're going to find out again. But let's now go back into Explain and do the exact same thing once again. It says Shift and F2. It does say Shift and F2. So we are going to have a quick look. Right, new flight. Same setup again. 3:45. There we go. Start the flight. Same runway. Same conditions. Same day. Let's see what happens. Right. Now I have done this before. I have used Reshade before. And it did work the last time I used it. But again, it's not in... I've not used it in Explain. So we'll have a look at Reshade in a moment, I guess. If it works. If it works and if it doesn't work. But let's see what this mod does to change how things look. It says it's the ultimate mod. Let's hope it is the ultimate mod. Shift and F2 should open up. Unless they've remapped the... No, it shouldn't be remapped because I just installed it default, stock. Okay. And the ultimate mod doesn't seem to have really done much, as far as I can see. As far as I can tell, there hasn't been any change. I can't see any change with the ultimate mod unless I've got to like switch it on. Reload all the files, please. No. Also, I can't seem to get the Reshade up. Look at that pull. I'm going to complain about it constantly. I am having a look around to see what the ultimate mod has changed. Nothing that I can see so far. I can't see any change so far on it, so is it worth having it? Well, I don't know. Because if I can't see any change, then I can't tell you whether it is worth having it or not. I'm going to just climb up once again. And the reason I've done this all without testing is because of exactly this thing. So if I make a mistake, if I'm not seeing something properly, you guys get to see me either troubleshoot it or try and work out what's actually going on. I forgot to do the water level thing again. Bother. Actually, you know what? I think it has changed. the way the lights are. The light showing looks different. Alright, let's do that to 0. Swing this over to... Let's just go almost east now. There we go. The lights do look different. That has to be... That must be something that's changed. That must be something that's changed. Alright, let's bring that throttle back a bit. There we go. Let's have a look outside. The lighting looks different. I'm fairly sure of it. I'm fairly certain that lighting is different. Okay, let's have a look. Let's actually go to nighttime. Yeah, I think it has changed the way the lights are shown. I wish there was more lights in the cities. I do really wish there were more lights in the cities. I think it would just look amazing if everything was just lit up. But, okay, well, we've got somewhere. We've definitely got somewhere on this. I'm still trying to work out exactly where the Reshade has gone. But that looks a lot more realistic now than it did before. So there we go. That is the FS Enhancer. The Ultimate Mod, apparently, though I can't see too many differences on it. I'm just trying to look through different times of day. Still can't see that many differences between the Ultimate Mod and FS Enhancer as a whole, but FS Enhancer for certain is a must download if you want a free graphical add-on. Again, if you guys want, I think Reshape does work. I've seen other people have Reshape work, so I'm going to try and get it working before the next video that I do. Then I'll be able to show you Reshape properly. But that is pretty much how you install it. I've probably made a slight mistake on the installation, and then we've got the Ultimate Mod in too, which I don't know whether it's changing the lighting. I think it may be changing the lights on it. As a matter of fact, you know what we should do to end this video? I think we should quit Explain, and let's see exactly what it does. So if we press quit, if I go over to the Ultimate Mod, FS Enhancer version, and have a look, there we go. This is what it's doing. So it changes the water amplitude, it changes the shadows. Okay, so it's changed the shadows. The clouds, it's changing a little bit. It's changed the gain and everything. So it's a subtle set of changes once again. So the Ultimate Mod is a subtle set of changes, whilst the FS Enhancer, this one right here, is a much bigger set of changes, which I highly, highly recommend those. And if you like this video, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos on Explain. Also, if you're watching this on Twitch, well, actually you wouldn't be because I don't think I'm uploading these to Twitch. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please follow me on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/ECGadget. Leave comments in the comments box below, just like you did on the last one. I really, really appreciate those comments. And make sure that you do consider supporting me on Patreon. That's www.patreon.com/ECGadget. I would massively, massively appreciate that support. It would help me out a huge, huge amount. Now, all I need to do is work out what's going on with Reshade, and hopefully I'll be able to do that before the next episode, where I'll be showing you that. And I think maybe I won't show you an add-on. I'll just do a quick flight to see how far we've got so far before moving in to other things. But yes, Patreon, please, please do support. That's all from me, and I'll see you guys next time in Explain 11.